Take a granny square, yes, like the ones on your great aunt's blanket, and pair it with silk organza, a couture fabric that's so delicate it might unravel if you just breathe on it. The rules say don't do it, but I had a design idea I just couldn't shake. Wildly impractical and absolutely perfect. So I threw out the rule book and started sewing literal crochet to sheer silk. And where better to put that tension to the test, historical craft and couture modernity, than Paris? Or so I thought. The whole idea for this dress started with a contradiction. The heavy, soft crochet contrasted with stable yet delicate silk organza. Underneath all of these potentially flappy layers, crochet granny squares, another base dress. First the squares, but there already was a problem. Traditional granny squares don't hold their shape when they're confronted with the weight of a garment. They sag, they stretch. That just wasn't going to cut it for a dress, let alone one that's being made with silk. So I had to create something new, a tighter, puff stitch granny square, stronger, a little bit more structured, but still recognizable as the original thing. So I started making these structurally superior puff grannies, and if you're curious, there's a whole video teaching how to make them in a free pattern down below. Then came the silk organza. Silk organza is the diva of fabrics, let me just say. It's gorgeous on the runway and in person, but it is hell to work with. And it's also sheer, so I decided to layer it 4 times to give it a little bit more strength and a little bit more coverage. That meant 4 times the cutting, 4 times the seams, 4 times the risk of messing it all up. And silk organza doesn't forgive or forget. It magnifies every mistake. I couldn't even use pins on it because every pinhole leaves a permanent mark. So with every stitch, I was just holding my breath because I genuinely didn't know if this was going to work. But I had one trick up my sleeve, a couture technique called the French seam. It's a slow and precise way of sewing that hides every raw edge by sewing, flipping, and sewing that seam again, a method that's designed to make the garment look just as beautiful on the outside as it does on the inside. Normally, French seams only work when 2 edges of a garment meet. But with all of my layers, I saw an opportunity. I did something that was a bit unthinkable. I French seamed the neckline and the armholes to themselves. That means no raw edges, no lining, just perfectly enclosed floating seams sealed entirely within each piece itself. What I ended up with was a ghostly, ethereal, completely sheer dress, fully finished from the inside out. Oh yes, and there were pockets. French seamed pockets. Next, I had to figure out how to attach the granny squares. Traditionally, you would crochet them together nice and neat. So obviously, I did the complete opposite. I decided to machine sew each square directly onto the silk. And I'll be honest, it felt a bit blasphemous. Like surely the sewing gods were going to appear at any time and smite me on the spot. But somehow it worked. And with just one edge of each of the granny squares sewn down, they created this wild dimensional texture that moved and revealed peekaboos of the silk underneath. The skirt, however, became a completely different beast. For modesty, because the skirt is the one place you don't want to see peekaboos of sheer fabric, I crocheted all the squares into a heavy front and back panel before attaching it, and promptly ran out of squares. at least the colors that I had liked. With the deadline of Paris closing in, I was frantically crocheting more squares just to try to fix the layout and finish that skirt. So I have attached the skirt. I still need to decide if I want these to be a little bit flappy or if I want to close them, but the back is all coming together so well. When I finally slipped the dress on for the first time, it was surreal. It had weight, it had movement. The overlapping crochet felt like a soft armor. But of course, there was one more problem. The skirt just didn't quite land the way I wanted it to. We have all of this that moves around, but down here, these two should be released and should be a little bit more open. So I unraveled it. Crochet has the irony of sometimes only taking seconds to unravel minutes or hours of work. I redid the skirt with fluting on the back to balance it out. It was still weird, still mine, but finally, I got it right. And you could still use the pockets. I mean, what more do you want here? So after all of the chaos, I did make it to Paris. But the dress didn't get worn there. Instead, I wore it to a little town called Baden-Baden in southern Germany that's a spa town. It's on the edge of France and has a lot of French influences, so close enough. But honestly, when you make something beautiful enough, I don't think it matters where you are. It becomes the moment and can make anywhere feel like Paris. So after all that trial and error, we had the answer to our initial question of could two materials that were never meant to meet actually create something beautiful? And clearly, the answer is absolutely. They were just waiting for somebody bold enough to introduce them. So, what do you think of the dress? Leave me a comment. I'm genuinely curious what you thought about it. And if you want to see how many failed granny square garments it took to come up with this puff granny square pattern, keep watching. Or if you want to put the puff granny square pattern to the test yourself for free, the link is in the description box.